Hey, welcome to Morgan's Moments. So today I'm going to be getting ready to go to a dinner, actually a birthday dinner tonight. So the theme is chocolate, and I am going to do gold accessories and like gold eye makeup. I've already washed my hair. I'm just going for a wash and go set today. So I'm letting my hair dry. I've already put on my foundation, filled in my eyebrows, put on my concealer, my bronzer, highlighter, and I think that's all I've done so far, and my blush. So I've done all that. Only thing I have left to do are my eyes and my lips. So before I get started, I realized that I forgot to mention in my first video that I have a boutique called Luxe Addiction Boutique, and it's an online boutique for women's sleepwear. So right now I have one of my sets. This is actually a robe and a romper. So this is the Sade set in blue, and I'll link the item in the caption of the video. So let me go ahead and get started on my eye makeup. So what I want to start out with is actually my primer. So this is, I don't know if y'all can see it because of the light. This is Urban Decay. It's the eyeshadow primer potion in Sin. And I like this because it kind of like, it goes on light and it gives it like a pop. And because my makeup is going to be like a gold, I want it to pop. So let me put this on. It has a little stick. So I'll put this on my lids and then I'll blend it in. And then I'll use this little, I don't know what this is called, but I like to use this to kind of clean up the primer so I don't have like any unevenness or anything. All right, and I will do the same for the other lid. So while I'm doing this, a topic that I wanted to talk about today was something that my therapist actually told me about. So I'm in therapy right now, mainly working on my vulnerability when it comes with relationships with platonic friends, with men as well, with dating. So my therapist actually gave me a really good tool that I had never heard of to kind of help with my vulnerability as I'm dating. And it's called the vulnerability ladder. I never heard of it, not sure if anybody else had, but I'll go through what it is. The steps, there are 6 steps, and then hopefully it's something that can help anybody else that's working on vulnerability and just kind of building organic connections with other people. So the first step, actually before I do that, let me make sure I got this on. I think I do. Okay. So let me clean up this because I got a little bit of clunk on my eyelash. Okay, so I got the primer on, and now I'm going to do the eye makeup. Let me show you all what I'm going to do. So I'm using Juvia's Place. This is The Warrior by Juvia, and I'm going to do, let me see, what do I want to do today? I want to do gold. Obviously you can tell I really like that color. So I think I'm gonna do this on my lid, and I'm going to do maybe this in my crease, but I also have another Juvia's Place because I like to mix 2 of the palettes when I'm doing golds. I have this one as well. So I'm going to use the gold on my lids, and I think I'm going to use this like right here, and then use the chocolate that I showed you all and mix it with one of these on the crease. So that's what I'm going for. So back to the vulnerability ladder. So the first step is just self-reflection. And I think for the most part, a lot of people probably really do a really good job with that. I know I do, because it's just reflecting and just knowing what you need to do to build connections with people, and just being very like honest with yourself. So I think step 1 is very self-explanatory. Step 2 is actually called safe sharing with trusted people. So this will be like if you have family members, if you have friends, even if you're dating, if it's someone you've been dating for a while, just someone that you trust, someone that you know, like you feel comfortable sharing things with them. That's why they call it safe sharing. And so that is something that I feel like for me, it's been somewhat easy to do, because if I know someone and I have history with them and they are trusted, then I have no problem sharing things with them and opening up and being vulnerable. So let's see how the first lid. Okay. I have a lot of gold, but I'll kind of tone it down and clean it up when I put the browns on. So step 1, as I mentioned, is self-reflection. Step 2 is safe sharing with trusted people. Step 3 is actually light vulnerability within a social setting. So that could be if you are out to dinner, if you're out at a party, a social gathering, something like that, and you connect with someone and you all can like talk about a topic, and maybe it's just you and this person and y'all just hit it off and you just feel comfortable sharing things with them. I've done that before. I've done that with other women that I've met at events, and I've also done that with some men. Like we've been out and then it's just been some type of connection that we've had, and it's been something that's been easy to do. Now, step 1, 2, and 3, for me, they've been some things that have been somewhat easier for me to do. Step 4 is where, for me, it gets a little tricky. So step 4 is early dating or controlled. So what that is when you first start dating someone and you're getting to know each other. You know, you're asking all of the basic questions, but it's controlled because you don't want to say too much. You don't want to overshare. So you have to like really have somewhat of a balance. And for me, I realized that sometimes when I get to step 4, I create a safe space for people to open up and talk to me, but I don't really share a lot. So I ask questions because I really genuinely want to get to know people. And I'll do this with friends as well, but I'm going to speak for everything in terms of dating. And I'm really trying to get to know people, you know, trying to understand their upbringing, their childhood, just them. Because I feel like when you know those things about people, it kind of gives you a better insight into them. And so I do that. On the flip side, if someone doesn't really ask me a lot of questions about myself, I won't really volunteer a lot of information. But I'm trying to work on that. So I'm trying to work on step 4, doing it more in a controlled way, like not oversharing, but still sharing a little bit where I can work on being vulnerable. So step 5 is deeper connection. And that is when you've already done your control dating. And before I do that, let me see. I think I'm actually going to put this like gold right here. I guess it's kind of a goldish. I'm gonna put this like on my little highlight. I'm gonna do that. So deeper connections, like you've already shared some things with the controlled dating, but now you want to take it a step further and you want to get deeper. So whether it's talking about your family, your upbringing, your faith, obstacles you had in life, things where you kind of just mentioned it, this could be a great opportunity to kind of dive a little deeper into it. Because sometimes I'll say something and then I'll just run right past it, but I'm trying to work on actually not withholding information and actually getting deeper. So step 5 is something that's also a work in progress for me. And then step 6 is the last. That is meaningful vulnerability. That just means you are all in. That's very difficult for me because I'm not an open book. It takes me time to open up to people, but I'm hoping that using these steps will allow me to organically like really build that vulnerability and that trust. And I know trust has a lot to do with that. So step 1, self-reflection. Step 2, safe sharing with trusted people. Step 3 is light vulnerability within a social setting. Step 4 is early dating, controlled early dating. Step 5 is deeper connections, and step 6 is meaningful vulnerability. So I think with dating, I'm probably in between 4 and 5 right now, but I'm trying to work my way up to 6. So hopefully that's helpful for you all. I don't know if anyone's heard of that, but let me know what step you are on when it comes to dating. So now I'm going to put this on as well as the chocolate in my creases to kind of blend it, to kind of get this gold to calm down a little bit. Okay, so I finished up my eye makeup and I put this Kiss liner on my top lash and I put this YSL eye pencil on my bottom lash. I don't really know why I use two different pencils. I guess because this one is, I don't know, this one is just easier to put on my top lash, so I use two. And I am going to put, I'm going to do lashes actually. And these are some lashes I got from Tyson, which is like a beauty store here. And I'm going to put on some mascara first because I realize it's easier for me to put on strip lashes if I have mascara on my lashes. Just gonna put that on and then put on the lashes and well, I guess I should tell you all what mascara I'm using. So this is YSL Lash Clash. And I actually got this in my advent calendar 2 years ago. So I'm going to put this mascara on and then put on my lashes. Okay, so I put on my lashes. It took me a little minute, but I was finally able to do it. So now I'm going to do my lips. And I start off with this MAC Prep and Prime. And then I use my MAC Chestnut pencil. So since I'm wearing brown tonight, it's a chocolate theme, so I'm wearing a brown dress and I have like gold makeup and gold accessories. I want to do a brown lip. So I'm going to line with the MAC and then put on the lipstick. And I actually already put the primer on my lip. Sometimes I like to overline just a little bit. Okay. So now for the lipstick, this is Smashbox and the color is True Grit. So let me shake this up. I haven't used this in a while. Let's see how this turns out. And I believe it's like a matte as well. Definitely gives me a different look. Okay, lipstick done. So I'm going to finish off by using this Charlotte Tilbury setting spray as well as the One Size setting spray. So I like both. They give me a different look. All right, makeup's done. Now it's time to get dressed.